Perfect.
And welcome back, everybody. Heels and Quads Media here on YouTube. I'm Tommy.
And along with, I almost did the Hoop Hopped intro, along with my co-host from Hoop Hopped Your Culture and Riding the Pine, if that show ever comes back, the great Muda.
What's up? What's up?
It's weird having you on a weeknight.
It is. This is the new. This is the new normal.
He's
This
not a
is the
vampire
future.
anymore.
No, it's fantastic. I love every second of it.
Well, I mean, it's probably going to take you a little while to get used to waking up so early.
It's not so much that. It's the around noon 30. The drag hits.
The sluggishness.
Yeah, like I'm dog tired by the time I get home, and I'm working 2.5 hours less a day than I used to.
So do you bring your lunch to work, or is it provided, or do you order, or what goes down at work for lunch?
I don't eat lunch at work. I have a 4 hour eating window.
Oh, okay.
So I don't eat until I get home.
Gotcha.
Start eating around 4, and then I'm make sure I wrap it up before 8 o'clock.
Gotcha. I'm the same way, so I get it. I don't eat, like I still haven't eaten today. So once we're finished with this, within the next hour or so, I'll eat. I will do something productive that I'll sweat all those calories out, and then I will most likely shower and go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Because I now, in the last 2 months, have lost 32 pounds.
Goddamn!
Yeah, boy.
My
I
man.
am pumped about it because I feel good. I haven't drank in 18 days. I feel good. I feel refreshed. My knees don't hurt like they used to. My back's not as achy as it once was. But it's nice, and I think I'm going to stick with the only drinking on like special occasions and stuff.
Yeah, I say that all the time. I'm
I'm,
uh,
I'm going to try my best.
I'm sitting real close to 28 days. Saturday will be 4 weeks, and then I'm good with that. And then
Oh, yeah, that's right, because I said I was going to do a month, and you said, that's weird, I just started a month.
yeah,
But
the
you
scat.
started like on the 1st, right?
It was close to that. It was
Yeah.
right at the end of the month. I was just looking at it to double check to make sure that that was it. It was the 29th.
Oh,
Was the
okay.
last time I
Yeah.
had a drink. So yeah, then so
Nice.
Saturday's going to be a month of Saturdays. So
Right.
I'm going with that,
Yeah.
and it feels all right. And I'm sure that
Yep.
helped with the switching over to the day shift by not
Yeah.
being hungover as fuck last week when I was doing when I was working a split shift trying to get used to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm back. Yeah, back on days. I got my nights back as opens up about probably about 16 hours of free time that I did not possess for the last 2 years over like throughout the week, which is exciting. But yeah,
Yeah. So this live isn't really anything like crazy.
nah,
We started kind of doing this like once a month. We'll kind of numbers and share that kind of stuff with anyone interested. This is like for the nerds, like that just love numbers. Like I love stats, I love analytics. So this, I mean, I'm constantly like Muda alt for like what the last 2 weeks. I'm constantly sending like updates of what's going on, but I wanted to share it with everybody so everybody could kind of get a glimpse behind the scenes of, cuz I mean, the last live that Levi and myself did, the Nazareth episode, we were sitting at 299 subscribers.
hmm
We're now sitting at 381 subscribers. So that's almost 100 new subscribers in, or that's technically, to be precise, it's 82 new subscribers in 2.5 weeks. Not even.
it's not bad.
No. Not at all. So I will now share my screen and show this. And there is a reason for the boom in numbers. Obviously, I've been putting out a lot more shorts. The Elvis content is going over very well. That's gonna, at least until we bring back Riding the Pine. My goal right now is to at least do an Elvis show once a month. And I need to still finish my Kiss rankings. I still need to do a lot of things, but kind of just been putting everything on hold because I've noticed that the boom in shorts and the watch time I'm getting from that, the views, and the most important thing, the subscribers. Because having a boom in subscriptions is like what we've been waiting for. Because even if, like we texted about earlier, even if subscribing for, say, the Elvis content, which a lot of people are right now, even though they're subscribing, oh, it's 382 subscribers, not 381. We got a new subscriber since the last time I looked.
Damn.
But even though, you know, they're here for the Elvis content, or they're here for the Kiss content, or whatever they're here for, whether it be Heels and Quads, Who Popped, or... Because, I mean, your Meg video did pretty good, considering, you know, we got that little copyright warning. It wasn't a strike per se, but it's kind of like a, you know, Warner Brothers gets their piece of the pie if it ever gets monetized.
Mm-hmm.
Which kind of stinks, but whatever.
We should turn monetization off as a middle finger. A middle finger, one for getting us struck, two for making Meg 2.
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty shit. But yeah, you know, just because they subscribe for one thing, or, you know, if you're watching and you have subscribed, thank you, number one. But if they're here for one thing and they don't like another thing, my advice is just don't watch it. Don't unsubscribe just because we put something out that you don't like. There's always a chance that something you do like will be done again in a bigger form.
That
Go ahead.
Heels and Quads is, I mean, it's branched the hell out like crazy.
Yeah.
You know, from a wrestling channel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now it's wrestling and music, and, you know, we talk about movies. I'm going to talk about more movies. The horror aisle, for the first horror aisle video, it was originally going to be out this week. And then I realized how fucking tired I was gonna be at the end of the workday. So
yeah,
that's going a little slower than I planned. But the script is written, the intro's done, got most of the on-screen aesthetics ready to go. It's just, I just need to record and edit it. So, like, there's gonna be that.
That's the hardest part. That's why I got stuck with the Kiss videos. It was like I was putting one out every single day, just bam, 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 and then it went to a week, and then it went one a week, and now I'm sitting at like over a month I haven't put one out, and I'm like, and I'm almost done. I've got 8 more to do, and it's just like I have so little time now, because putting the Elvis shorts together, especially the way I've been doing them, like with the single songs. Mm-hmm. Is I go throughout his entire live career, mm-hmm. and so it's a like 4 seconds, you know, keep going, and then I've got a minute to nail it. And so, like, usually it's like a verse and then a chorus, and then I can squeeze all that into a minute if I take out like some of like the instrumental parts or a guitar solo here and there or whatever. And it's really difficult. And there was one in particular that I worked on. I believe it was Friday before I went to work, because I had to be there at 3:00. So I worked on it. I started on it at like 10. I got an idea, started typing it out, what I was going to grab. And then it was like, before I know it, when I started editing it all together, I had like 20 minutes to get ready for work. Mm-hmm. So got it all together, saved it, uploaded it, scheduled it. And that's a big thing too with shorts. And that's why I titled this How Not to Grow a YouTube Channel and Stats and Slow Growth for Small Channels, because in all actuality, we should have way more subscribers than we do. But our big problem, mine and Levi starting out before Muda was even a part of it, is that we started our channel. I think our YouTube channel actually started in January of 18. So that's a little over 5 years ago. But if you look at the stats for that, like I can do this. Subscribers. Lifetime. Go to that. Now this will be views. So right now, and this will change because we got over 1,000 views today alone. Your channel's got 93,374 views so far. That's from the beginning. Look at the beginning, if you can see that.
Yeah.
I mean, 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 1, 5, 3, and then boom.
Yeah.
This is all since September of last year is when we hit that boom. And then Muda came at me and he's like, hey man, you need to start working on shorts. And I'm like, that's a great idea. I didn't realize though how big of a difference that would make. So you get all the credit for that. I've said it before, but I feel like I need to say it on this video because I'm blown away right now how well it's doing and how much we've blown up in the last, year. Because it is almost September.
That was just from me watching videos about this.
Well,
this exact subject.
It's crazy, man, and there's a ton, and that's another reason why I titled it that, to try to get some of those, pity views. I'll take whatever, man. A view's a view, a click's a click. Even if you only watch 2 seconds, I'll take it because it adds up. But yeah, I myself was watching a couple of those, over the last week or so. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And what am I doing right? And I noticed, though, that a lot of them, they're saying shorts is where it's at. Yeah, it's hard to get 3 million short views. But if you're uploading, like right now, yesterday I uploaded 3. Today I've uploaded 2 so far. I'm going to try to get another one out tonight, which... weeknight this late even, it's kind of hard to nail a time where you're going to get it. But like last night, I got 150 views in like 20 minutes. And then today I put out a short for Burning Love. I got 1,000 views in 28 minutes. So it's all based on timing. You got to hit those peaks. And I know that like early in the morning, especially weekdays, people are on their phone, scrolling through before they get ready for work or before they go to school or whatever.
On the job.
And yeah, taking a shit, brushing their teeth, whatever. Everybody's always got their phone in their hand. And that's the best place to get short views, is people on their phones. Mm-hmm. So what I've noticed, though, is with our content, even whether it be, one of the Elvis shorts I've put out or, compilation of like, little clips from a podcast or whatever, ours tends to be about 10 a.m. is a huge peak for us. And I mean, anybody that has a small YouTube channel, use this information. 10 o'clock a.m. Central Time has been hot for us. And then today, the 1,000 view video I got, I scheduled that to be uploaded at 5:10 p.m. Central Time. So you want to hit that kind of like, because 10 in the morning Central Time, it's 11 o'clock on the East Coast. People are already starting to go to lunch at that point. Mm-hmm. But it's also early enough. 10 a.m. on Central Time is 8 a.m. Pacific Time. So those people are getting ready or about to leave for work or whatever, procrastinating getting in their car, procrastinating calling in, or however that works. But it's just, I'm so glad that I've kind of figured it out. But I also watched another video that it said, basically your goal is to hit 1,500 views on shorts. Mm-hmm. Because that seems to be kind of like, and a lot of mine have been cut off at like 1,200, mm-hmm. But you have literally like an 8-minute window for a short to really pop, because if you can, I've noticed if you can get like 20 likes per 100 views, you're in pretty good shape. You've got a really good chance of hitting at least 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some where you'll get 200 views and you'll only get 11 likes. And you're like, what the hell? What? Like, there's no rhyme or reason to it. But it's all about finding when your audience, and I mean, this is all in analytics, like when people watch. There's a chart. And it's not always the case with shorts. Videos, yes. Lives, yes. But shorts, no. That's kind of like you just gotta, because I mean, people are constantly just swiping, you know? So that you just have to find your hotspot time. Because I read somewhere there's like 50 or 500, I can't remember if it's 500,000 hours of YouTube videos uploaded every minute or if it was 500 million. I think it was 500,000. 500 million's a little much. But 500,000 hours. No, it wouldn't surprise me at all because, I mean, YouTube is, I mean, there's, my house included, I mean, we watch YouTube, all 5 of us, more than we watch anything else.
Sure.
Because there's always something you can find, whether it's, you know, a short video on, you know, Joe Schmo batting, you know, 308 career batting average, and that's a 20-minute video, and you get roped in.
Yep.
And I've posted about this. I think it was on, what's the new, not X. It's like the Instagram version. What's it called? What? I can't remember what it's called. Threads. Yes, thank you. I posted on that, and I think I shared it on Instagram and X, Twitter, whatever, before I quit posting there, about how YouTube videos, what turns me off is when I'm watching a video on, you know, whether it be a do-it-yourself or, you know, a short biography on a president or whatever the case may be. Whenever they use like AI or some sort of, you know, fake voice, it automatically turns me off. I know it is not right away most of the time, but like if they say a name wrong or a word weird or it cuts kind of different, and I'm like, it's not really a person talking. And also another thing that bothers me is like I've noticed there's a big boom in like cartoon avatars talking. I don't know if you've come across any of these videos, but it's very strange.
Like a person talking behind like a 3D puppet or like a virtual puppet?
Yeah, basically. If it's even a real person talking.
Those are likely clips from VTubers.
Yeah. Maybe that's what it is, but it's really strange.
Which is a huge thing.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, VTubers is like I'm pretty sure they're like a Twitch. It's mostly a Twitch thing. And then they're just uploading it to YouTube as well. I think they have clip channels. Most of them have clip channels on YouTube.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it is a world I do not understand, and I do not pretend to. I just kind of.
I mean, hey, if it's working for you, whatever.
Yeah. I have no qualms. No.
It just really bugs me when I'm like, it was a video on Kiss, and it was this, you know, this cartoon 3D avatar of this. It looked like a, you know, young adult male, but he was wearing like Kiss makeup, but he also had cat ears, and I'm like, what the?
Yeah, that's a VTuber.
Okay, I'm like, what the hell is this? But like that actually sounded like an actual person's voice.
Was it an anime avatar?
Yeah, it looked very anime. Yeah.
That's a VTuber.
Okay.
And then it likely is like I don't know. I don't think they've gotten to the point where they're totally AI. That's okay. That's like those VTuber avatars are incredibly expensive. And you need a lot of them are sponsored,
okay,
by like these big VTuber management teams or whatever, and they hook them up with the avatar and all that stuff, and they have to stream for so many like hours a day and shit like that. It
Gotcha.
is,
Okay, we'll see. Now I'm learning something.
That is my baseline understanding of it.
You knew more than me. I just thought it was a random YouTube channel. That's what they did.
That is a
whole different stratosphere.
A modern phenomenon is definitely.
That's so weird. I mean, whatever. Like I said, if it works, it works.
Hey, it beats streaming or talking with this, where it's just a logo with a little
and it lights up
lines.
when you talk.
It's better than that.
Yeah, I'll give you that. And that brings me to what I was going to talk about also. That first couple of years especially, we weren't really doing video on YouTube. So what was happening, especially when we were on when we left Anchor originally and went to Spreaker, our audio would automatically upload as a video, but it's just, like you see like the WAV file or whatever.
Yep.
And you might get like 30 clicks on it or something. Nothing major, but like, it's like, okay, well, at least, we have a channel if we ever do. And a lot of it was based on just poor internet. So now that we both have really good internet, that's when we started doing more videos. We started with the Zoom thing and recording, and then I'd edit and then upload. And then now, of course, with StreamYard, it's amazing. I love it. It's so much easier. And yeah, you get the uhs and the, awkward silence and stuff like that sometimes, but it's so much easier to not have to worry about it and edit. And then if you do say something stupid, at least it's live and you get through it, and then you just unlist it or make it private, download it to your computer, edit that way, put it back up, and then just take the live one off, or just leave it unlisted, and then those views still count, but once you delete it, it takes it away. So, and that's what I did too, is I cleaned up a lot of our channel. Like I took all those audio ones down, except for one that was doing pretty decent actually. And then I just took a lot of the wrestling videos down that just the quality wasn't that good. And then, it was like, it'd have like 4 views, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want people seeing that I got 4 views on a video. Like a live stream, I get it, like people will find that eventually and, be like, oh, well, this is interesting. Because even like with Who Popped, there'll be some that we get, 4 views when we're live, and then 2 days later it'll be at like 36, and I'm like, hey, look, people are finding it. And it's all based on those tags, and how the title is the biggest thing too. I've noticed that if you don't title your video correctly, it puts you in the shitter right away.
Sure.
And what did you say that you heard, that you basically have like a 48-hour window with a video, and then it just kind of gets lost in time unless people are actually searching for a specific thing? Didn't you tell me that?
Yeah, I do believe so. Yeah, it's if you're I think it was we were talking about the like DMCA strikes or copyright strikes or anything like that. If you get struck, and it's one of the big reasons why, especially like the big channels that make videos, if you get struck and then all of the monetization it's not held, it's just nothing. You don't get any. And then what winds up happening is they make monetization unavailable, and then it's like they'll give you, if you're quick enough on the draw, they will turn it back on like with like 2 hours left in that first 48 hours, and you're just kind of you're done. Like all of your main opportunity to get monetization, like to really make any money off of a video, just like it just goes out the window.
Right. Which, I mean, makes sense, but it just stinks that, when you're using something clearly to just like showcase something, it's not like when we had the Thunder Island, that little clip.
Yep.
And we played it, and then it was like, and it wasn't a strike, it was just kind of a, if you're going to play this, we're going to send the money to, I think he was on MCA or something like that at that time. So it's like, well, I mean, I don't mind like if the artist was getting it, but the record company's getting it. The artist might see a half a penny off that.
If Jay was getting the money, clip. I would have said keep it in.
Yeah. Shout out to Jay Ferguson. If anybody has his contact information, please get it to me because I want to talk to him.
And I just want to sit there like a fucking creeper in the corner, just watching the conversation. Like I have nothing to contribute, Jay.
So I want to get to this. Let's get to the numbers. I kind of just blabbed for a little bit, but it is what it is. All right, so just in the last 7 days, and this is not counting today, so this is until midnight. I believe it would be Pacific time. Midnight last night. So your channel got 11,304 views in the last 7 days. 11.3. And then, so that's 114% than we got in the previous 7 days. And you can see the band there and then going back. And then we got, blew up back here. And then, so 7 days, 93.6 hours, 62 subscribers. That's just in the last week. That's insanity. And obviously, we're not Mr. Beast and every other big YouTuber, so, I mean, for a small channel, I think this is really good. Yeah. Especially considering it was nothing. So in the last 28 days, so basically the last month since Muda drank, your channel got 21,963 views in the last 28 days. Obviously, like I said, it's going to go up. Yeah. 22,000 views. They round up. That's nice of them. 17.3 thousand more than usual in a 28-day span. Watch time in hours, 192.1. That's 132.1 more than usual. And then in the last 28 days, 105 new subscribers. Why is this still here? 128% more than previous 28 days. Then you can go back 90 days. Your channel got 43,582 views in the last 3 months. 43,000.6, rounding up, thanks YouTube. 383% more than the previous 3 months. Watch time in hours, 423.4. 244% more than previous 3 months. Subscribers, 185, 671% more than previous 3 months. Then this is what I like to look at here. This is just the year 2023. 59,462. Keep that number in mind. So 59.5 thousand. Watch time, 615.7, 77% more than the previous year. And 216 subscribers just from January 1 to yesterday. So that number will go up. All these numbers will go up because we had a decent day. Not the best day we've had this month, but a decent day. And then in 2022, we got 31,318 views. So that's just from September, basically, until December 31st. 31.3 thousand. That's greater than 999% more from the previous year. That is fucking crazy. Watch time hours 355.9. Like I said, that's in a basically a 3.5 month span. 830% more than 2021. 56 new subscribers. We kind of hovered over that 100 for like 3 years. And then lifetime, and then like you can look at just the month, so it's not 28 days. So this is just August. And then July. That's just July. So 6,418 in July, and then boom, August, because I was a busy boy.
Good gal.
Yeah. And then June. June was a decent month. Kind of middle of the road.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so.
July was
And
our
like, you can look at. What was
July
that?
was
Sorry.
our vacation month. That was where like we didn't get anything done.
No, we didn't
Does that
do
tracks?
hardly anything. And, I mean, still decent, but it could be better. And then I always love this. Like, when you get a video that's just like getting subscribers like crazy, and you can go to the live and just watch that tick.
Yeah.
Like I'm waiting for that video to come, where I just live stream that. But like all this going up is hell yeah. But look at this. 1, 2, 3, 10, 20. And I've also noticed that YouTube, if you get like probably usually about 10, it'll hold a couple.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, something's weird, I guess because we are a smaller channel. Because like I've noticed, like I'll go to bed and it'll be like, oh well, this is saying, you got 10 new subscribers off this video, but you only have a couple hundred subscribers. What's going on? I'm assuming they just think that we're creating multiple YouTube accounts and subscribing that way. So they take them away. Then they verify it and then they give you back. It usually takes 24 hours.
Right, because that's if you're gonna get that kind of a bump in subscribers, you better pay for them.
Yeah,
Like
because when I went to bed last night, we were sitting at 273, I believe. And
you mean 370
at 373. Sorry. And I thought it was kind of strange because I was like, earlier in the day we had 375. Now I do also understand that when somebody subscribes, they could very well and likely go through your content and be like, okay, I only really like this one video, so I'm not going to subscribe. And that's fine. But then I was like, there's something weird about it, because then I would get back to 375, and then it would drop back down to 373, and then it would go back to 375. So when I woke up today, it said 373 again, and then I think it was probably like 9 this morning, it went back to 375. And I was like, what is going on? And then I put the first short out. Yeah. Then I put the first short out. It actually ended up being more like 10:30 because I had to like edit a little bit because it was trying to say that I used too much of one clip. And put that out and got like 2 new subscribers. We were up to like 377, I believe. And then it just sat there, and then I put that video out at 5:10, and then I sent you a screenshot because we got up to 380, and I was like, oh, look. And then right after that, I sent you another screenshot because it went up one more to 381, and that's where we sat. And even when I first opened this tab, it was sitting at 381. Now it's 382, so I don't know if that's a new subscriber or if that's based on one maybe they took away at some point and decided to give it back. I don't know, man. Numbers. There's so many of them.
It's exciting stuff.
Yeah. And I feel like I have like a little bit of like OCD about it because I'm constantly checking. And my favorite thing to do is like when a video starts to pop, like I'll sit there and just refresh. Or if I have my laptop nearby, I'll just put it on because you can see it live going up and it updates like every few seconds. And I'm just like, oh yeah, baby. This is what Papa likes. All right. So that's that. All right. So that's the numbies. It's exciting. But I think that's something fun we can do once a month. Just kind of doesn't really have to be anything. Just kind of like let people know, because as we grow, the Patreon grows. So sign up, patreon.com/heelsandquads. Come hang out. This week we're doing Friday because I have the weekend free and because the wife works. And the kids will be occupied because they don't have school the next day, so they'll have stuff to do. And, oh, almost forgot. Way behind on this one. CopperJohnsBeard.com. Use code Heels and Quads in all caps because we're professional businessmen and save 15% off your order. Muda was going to have an ad read ready, but it's not quite ready.
It's not quite ready.
So, I'll just tell you, go to CopperJohnsBeard.com. Use our code, save 15%. They've got everything. They've got balms, they've got oil, they've got mustache wax, they've got shampoo, they've got conditioner, they've got soap, combs, soap dishes, and then they also have subscription options. You can get it once a month, you can get it once every 3 months, you can get it once every 6 months, however you want to do it. But go there. We all have beards. We all use it. CopperJohnsBeard.com. And back to our regularly scheduled program. So I did want to talk before we wrap up about what we've got coming up, because technically this episode for Who Popped will not be live. It'll be the first non-live show of the year.
Yeah, since we started putting Who Popped on Heels and Quads.
Yep. But you're going on vacay and
yep, going to visit the folks. Going down to the lovely Carolinas. And it just so happens to fall exactly when we would be doing Who Popped. So we will be doing that. You didn't talk about this yet on Heels and Quads, did you? You didn't reveal?
I don't think so.
All right, then.
Maybe I did. I don't know. I don't remember.
So September being, we did toy around with the idea of extending the Halloween season to probably before October, and then, knowing us, it'd probably stretch into November too.
But then you also decided you were going to do Horror Isle, so that kind of...
Yeah, that does allow us a spooky, extension.
Yeah.
But so we decided, and it's still, I don't know, it's a very funny idea.
Yeah, I love it.
It's
wacky.
It is wacky because they don't get a lot of like play. People don't.
Very rarely do I see a YouTube video about this subject.
So for September, Who Popped Your Culture will be exploring our top 5 made-for-TV movies. And that is it is irrespective of genre or anything like that. The 5 plus an honorable mention or 2. I think I added added like 1 or 2 right after I told you I had everything done, including my honorable mention.
I haven't even started working on it yet because I haven't had any freaking time, but I'm going to start working on it probably tonight because I need to at least... I mean, I've got a couple that I know I'm going to put in, but probably actually 3. But need to figure it out, need to order it, need to try to come up with a couple of honorable mentions. And then obviously, I always try to at least like do a little bit of research on each thing that I pick, whether it even be just reading Wikipedia. But typically Wikipedia goes to, okay, I got to find another video on YouTube of this. Like, I want details, like behind the scenes, especially with movies. I like behind the scenes footage, and even if it's just pictures, like I have to have something visual to go along with, not just watching the movie.
Yeah, I was able to, or we were talking about it briefly before we started, or before we went live. I'm not even able to watch at least 2.
Which is insane. That is crazy. With technology the way it is, and it continues to grow, like...
You would think, but then I have to think, and it makes me feel especially old.
Yeah,
is that 2 of the movies on my list are almost 30 years old at this point, and a made-for-TV movie that is almost 30 years old, and we're talking like mid to like I wouldn't even say late 90s. and at a time when nobody gave a shit about made-for-TV movies, unless Stephen King was the one directing
Right.
them.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a couple that they're just part of the Wayback Machine, and like I've found, although I did find a couple of YouTube videos that look like they're VHS rips,
Yeah.
like somebody taped it on a like a recordable VHS tape and then fucking digitized it. And I might have to dig into it and just suck it up in 480p.
Which makes the quality really shit, considering a lot of movies in the 90s were filmed on like digital. Like it wasn't necessarily like film where they can read it or they can digitize it and, you know, up the resolution. And yeah.
Yeah, I simply can't justify the eBay purchases for some of them. As much as fondly as I remember them, I'm also terrified that if I go back and watch them again, I'm going to be like, why am I talking about this? Let alone, why did I spend money to make sure that I have this forever in my collection? But
Well,
yeah, I'm excited about it because I didn't get out a lot as a youngin.
yeah.
I was watching like the USA, like USA Up All Night, you know,
Oh,
the
man.
Monster Vision stuff like that, which they weren't TV movies, but I watched a lot of USA Network, and the USA original movies back in the mid to late '90s were actually pretty good. Like I don't know, even like 4 out of 10 were watchable and like rewatchable even.
Well, yeah, and you mentioned Monster Visit. I mean, even TNT had made for TV movies that I mean, some were decent, not all, but I mean, your network, you know, station NBC, ABC, CBS, they really pump out the made for TV movie. And then you had like channels like Lifetime and then,
right, you know,
and now Hallmark, and it's like
right, know. and the Disney Channel gets a mention.
Yeah.
In my top
Oh,
five.
absolutely. You have
the Disney
to.
Channel original movies for a good long time were, I mean, for what they were, you know, they're children's movies, so they're not, you know, they're not going to be too, you know, hairy or you know, spicy, but you know, I don't know how the hell they pulled it off. You know, some of them were really cheesy, but some of them they just turned out to be really good, and they had very obscure songs that I would later on, like I'd go on in my, you know, late teens and early adulthood and be listening to some of these bands, and then all of a sudden a song would come on from a Disney Channel original movie, and I'd, you know, send me, you know, throw me for a loop.
And you're like, holy shit, now I know where it's from.
And
or now I know who did the song.
Yeah, and one of the things that spurred this actually was it was one of the last episodes of The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob this season. It's not on my list, so I'm not worried about talking about anything.
Yeah.
I think it's called Dark Night of the Scarecrow. It was I think it was a CBS movie from like 1981. And it's got the guy from Dr. Giggles in it. Like the guy who plays Dr. Giggles.
Yeah.
He plays a role that would 100% get him canceled these days.
Oh, of course.
He's Lenny. He does a Lenny from of Mice and Men.
Gotcha.
And it's a very, very Lenny performance as well.
That was actually, Levi and I were going to do a live last night, and I ended up canceling because I was just having a really bad day, and I just wasn't in the mood. And that was going to be one of the topics that we were going to discuss was that article I sent you, the Queen thing. And so, yeah. I think we'll probably visit that the next time we get together, because we both have some pretty strong opinions on that.
I do as well.
Yeah. And
that's my favorite song.
But that's, yeah, so like older stuff like that, I mean, you just kind of have to like, you got to put yourself kind of in the time period.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's funny because if you watched it then or watched it when you were a kid and it was an older movie, like you don't even kind of think twice about it other than, well, you can't say that now,
Yeah,
or you can't
but
do that anymore.
but either neither here nor there. The Dark Knight of the Scarecrow is like if you watch it now,
Yeah.
when you find out that it's a made for TV movie, you're blown away, and then you kind of then you start to like you start to analyze, like overanalyze and break it down, and you'd be like, yeah, they didn't swear once. Like it wasn't like it was made for TV.
Right.
They didn't make the movie and then cut it for TV, and then now we've got the original that you could, for streaming and all that stuff. This is a
Right.
made for TV movie. There's no cursing. There's some. I mean, they pushed the line. They pushed the envelope pretty hard because it is a horror movie. So
Right.
it has to have like kills and stuff in it. But like they masterfully, and yeah, it just it kind of it made me it spurred the thought of it was like, man, they really went out of their, like they went above and beyond for these made for TV movies back in the day. And it reminded me of some of them that are on my top 5 that I haven't seen. Two of them are USA Network originals. One of them, one of my honorable mentions, it's an honorable mention only because it got a theatrical release in the UK. So I'm like, it was almost.
Yeah.
Honestly, if the American market knew what they were doing, it would have gotten a theatrical release in the States as well. It was like a DTV, direct to video, as opposed to direct, or straight for
Right.
TV. But yeah, like I've seen the made for TV movies nowadays. They're not good.
No,
I mean,
no. Well, I mean,
mind
a
you,
lot of the movies.
I was gonna say,
now
mind you,
aren't good.
I feel very strongly that most modern movies look like made for TV movies and
Yeah.
are just as shit.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like the same risk. Like, even like, I mean, rom-coms have always been kind of like,
yeah,
the guy meets the girl, the guy loses the girl, and he gets her back, and then he might lose her again, or his friends, with her now, or it's always something.
yeah,
But like movies now, it's the same crap over and over. TV shows, the same crap over and over. Very rarely will I find a new TV show that I'm just like, oh, I am so into this right now. It's
Yep.
usually animated comedies or. I'll watch Seinfeld for the 700,000th time, which I've been doing at bedtime because I know it's always going to be funny. And that's another show that was, kind of like talked about. It should be canceled and all that stuff.
The only new show that I've even given like a second thought is because I love the original, because it's a sequel series. It's the Justified.
Okay, yeah.
I love Justified, and now they
Yeah.
have the Justified City Primeval, and like
What's
yeah,
the
I'm gonna
actor's
watch
name in that?
Timothy Olyphant.
Timothy. Yeah, I can never remember his name.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. He's very charming.
he is, and he plays Raylan Givens really well.
Yeah.
Doesn't like he if you look at the way that Elmore Leonard wrote his character in his books, like they are not even remotely the same. But for whatever reason, like yeah, I'm gonna watch Timothy Olyphant play this guy every time. Very, very charismatic in the role. But yeah, like that's that's it. That's the everything else is kind of like just a bummer. Just bums me out. But yeah.
All right.
But yeah.
Well,
so,
before we get out of here, when should we expect the first video from you? You said you were thinking this week. So
I was thinking
do you
this
have a
week.
goal?
I was probably going to be in the middle of the week.
Middle of next week?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
So that's either record it. Probably not going to record it tonight. Probably record it tomorrow night. Edit it over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure it's good. It'll be short form. 15
And then
minutes
we'll
or less.
record Who Popped for September next Wednesday. We'll record it. It won't be released. I might release it Friday the 1st. I might wait until after the weekend. Maybe do like a Monday night release. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. If I actually have to edit anything, we'll wait till Monday or so. But
Just address this. Ashley saw the new Turtles movie.
oh, okay.
It was
I've
okay. Definitely not a
been,
movie for kids under 13. That doesn't surprise me. It is a Seth Rogen
yeah,
vehicle.
joint.
I am, yeah, not looking forward to that. I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna imagine that they stopped making Ninja Turtles movies after they went back in time.
Yeah. I mean, I want to see it just because, I mean, I even watched the Michael Bay, crappers, but I want to see it just because like it's very the animation is very across the Spider-Verse,
Yeah,
and
not
it's
a
very
not a
fast paced.
not a big fan of that either.
Yeah. Well, this is one I know that I can watch with little Tommy and he'll enjoy it because that's like he loves Miles Morales and that's like kind of his thing. So like, I mean, he likes turtles. Like, I mean, he'll even watch the old, 87 series. What did she say here? I know Seth Rogen wrote it, but I can do without them talking about milking nipples. Ooh, I can't wait now. I am in. Let's see. Okay, so next week you'll put that video out. Next week we'll record Who Popped for future release. The date will be, I'll post about it when I'm going to release it. And then, yeah, so after the success and everything from the Elvis shorts and the live stream I did with my friend Jimmy, who toured with me, after the success of that, I'm going to talk to Jimmy about it this weekend. Possibly, I'm only going to do it once a month, but I want to at least justify the shorts because I kind of feel like I've like kind of whored Elvis out a little bit, and I don't like that. It hurts my heart, and I don't want to do that to the king. But so I want to justify it, and I think it's something that I could do, and especially if I'm have a co-host that was a part of it, especially when that was such a huge part of my life. I think that will do justice to the show, and I think it would be fun, and I think it'll try to maybe help us keep a lot of these people who might have subscribed just for that content.
I was actually thinking about that. I think I might have to do it, just even though it'd be a pretty far stretch. It'd cover the John Carpenter movie on the horror aisle.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
it's a stretch because
it might be a stretch, but I mean, it's John Carpenter, and
exactly.
I think maybe a horror second cousin or something.
Sure.
But yeah, I've seen that movie 1,000 times, but it's kind of got that weird. I mean, obviously that's a made-for-TV movie, but it's kind of got that weird like old school horror, like that late 70s early 80s kind of weird picture vibe to it. It's very John Carpenter, that's for sure. You know who directed it watching it.
I look forward to it.
And Kurt Russell's fantastic. So
Yes,
other than that, I don't think there's anything. I'll get more Kiss videos out at some point. I promise I'm not gonna just stop at 8. I gotta get through it. I might give in and just do a live 8 through 1. But I don't want to do that because I feel like I'm shitting on it. I'll get them out at some point. I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna do 2 this weekend. Yeah, Manda works. I'm gonna do 2 this weekend. 8 and 7 will be this weekend. I gotta do it. I gotta get it done because I want to move on. I've got other videos I want to do, and I think that's it. But yeah,
awesome.
Thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, thank you for subscribing. Like the video, obviously. YouTube's been around long enough. People, know what to do. So I appreciate it. But like it, subscribe if you haven't already. Comment, because comments also, not just likes, gets you in that algorithm. So if we've said something that tickles your fancy or something that you don't agree with, comment about it. I'll comment right back, I promise, because I've always got my phone and I get notifications when I get comments on the videos. And Muda, I'm sure will see it as well, and he'll chime in.
Yes, I will.
So,
whether you like it or not.
Patreon.com/Heels and Quads, sign up. The $5 tier, which everybody's a part of that. That's the gold member. Gold. Sign up for that. Hang out with me once a week. Maybe like once every other month. I take a week off, but typically once a week. And then Levi joins me at the end of the month, and now Muda will be able to do those because he's no longer on the night shift. And Muda will
Correct.
be a part of Heels and Quads proper as well. I might actually have to figure out a way where I can talk Levi into which I mean, you guys kind of pretty similar as far as music goes.
Mm-hmm.
So it shouldn't be too much of a stretch. But that way, we get a third brain going. Like, okay, what do we do? What do we do? We got to get something out. What do we? Because I mean, going back and forth is great, and we have a very broad range, as people see on this channel, of music. But it's nice to have another, idea. And if you have ideas for what we should cover on any of the shows, comment that. Whether it be Heels and Quads, the main show, we'll talk about music and whatever else. Obviously, October, we always do horror. Who Popped? Give us an idea. What do you want us to do? Because, I mean, we kind of just like bounce ideas off of each other and throw shit to the wall and see what sticks.
Yep.
And then with the new Elvis show that I'm going to start, whether Jimmy wants to do it or not, I'm going to do it. So if I'm going to do something by myself, if that's what has to be, give me an idea of something, whether it's a specific movie, a ranking, an album, one song I could do freaking 20, 30 minutes on. So I know all that backstory shit on Elvis, so give me an idea, though, what you want to see first, and I'll get to it eventually if enough people. And obviously, if you're a Patreon member, you can tell me there, and I'll push it ahead in the pipeline. Also, whoring myself out now. CopperJohnsBeard.com. Use code Heels and Quads. Save 15% off your order. Thank you to Copper John's Beard. Great company. Owner's a Jets fan. That's how I got involved with that. And yeah, I think that's it. My psycho babbling for an extra 10 minutes to cross that hour peak. Do you have anything else?
No, I'm good to go.
All right, I'm ready to eat. I'm sure you're probably ready for bed.
Just about.
Betty bye-bye. All right, take us home.
Don't forget, everybody, being a jive-ass bitch is bad for your health.
TCB, baby. I don't know what we're doing.
I don't either. I'm just going to hit end broadcast. Let's do it.
I was just making a face. Okay.